Good morning, friends and family. I just realized I didn't actually film the intro for this video, so I'm filming it now. But today I'm gonna be showing you guys how I do my everyday foundation routine. This is something I get asked about a lot in person from friends at work and stuff, and so I thought it might be interesting for you guys to see what it is that I do on a daily basis. So I'm gonna be showing you in detail what I do. I'm always on the hunt for the longest lasting foundation routine I can find because I am oily and I just want to have something that I don't need to worry about during the day. So I'm going to be showing you my long-lasting foundation routine and also how I do my eyebrows, because I feel like they're an important part of my base, because it's I need all of that done before I can really see what my look really looks like. So if you guys want to see how I do my foundation and how I do my brows and how you can have something that's going to last in the summer heat, keep on watching this video and prepare to see me without makeup in 3, 2, 1. Good morning. So let's jump in to my foundation routine, shall we? Okay, so the first thing I'm gonna do is I do enjoy a good primer. This is the NARS Pore and Shine Control, I believe, and I'm going to use this all over my face. I've been using this for maybe about a year now, and I really like it. It's good for sensitive skin. I haven't noticed it breaking me out. I did a clarifying mask the other day, so that's why I've got this big breakout here, and I'm also PMSing, which is really fun. Now, if I am going somewhere where I really need my makeup to last and I don't have anything I can touch up with, no blotting sheets, nothing, what I do is I will put this Murad Oil Control Mattifier on. There we go. This is great. I will say using this on a consistent basis does sort of break me out. So I try to only use it when I really need it. But that's what I would do to make it last even longer. But the foundation that I have been using for the past couple of months that I've really been enjoying is the Estee Lauder Double Wear. This is in the shade 2-in-1 Desert Beige. This is a great foundation. I have kind of been on a journey to find the best foundation for my skin. And so far, this has been really great. It's kind of I mean, it's full coverage for sure, which I am pretty much a full coverage kind of gal on a day-to-day basis. There's a dog hair on my face, but it doesn't feel super heavy, especially if you don't layer and layer it up. But the thing I really like about this is that it's pretty long wearing for me. It really does well around my nose and my T-zone where I get really oily. So I'm just using Beauty Blender, and I am going to bounce this puppy out. Oh, this lighting. It's gonna make this look a little weird. There we are at a little bit more natural lighting. So I don't know if you can tell on camera, but this foundation is just a little bit too light for me because I got some sun a few weekends ago. So what I'm actually gonna do is I'm going to take my Tarte Shape Tape foundation and I'm going to add just a little bit more foundation. I kind of really like mixing foundations because sometimes you get the properties of one that you don't have in the other. I'm gonna add just a little bit more. So I'm not doing a full addition, so not a full layer of foundation, but I do need a little bit of this darker color, and I do get a little bit of added coverage, which is nice. My skin is not in the best condition at the moment. And I'm actually gonna go back into this Shape Tape and bring this down my neck. I really like this for blending down my neck, I think because I really like the applicator. So I can just draw on stripes and then go back in and blend down a little bit so we don't get any harsh lines. So now I am going to be turning my light back on and using the Tarte Shape Tape in Light Sand, and also this was Light Neutral for my foundation shade. I'm gonna go in, I'm gonna do the typical under eye. See, here's the thing is that I am not super into highlighting, and I think it's just because I prefer to look bronzed more than I am highlighted. So I tend to try to avoid using a ton of concealer. This might look like a ton of concealer because Shape Tape is super high coverage, but I try to keep it kind of where I need it. So right here under my eyes, obviously, and I'll cover my eyelids because Shape Tape goes a long way and I usually use a little bit too much. So I'm gonna do that. I know I put some on my chin today, but I don't always do that because I feel like my chin always looks super pale. But I do have quite a bit of a breakout on my chin right now, so I am gonna conceal that quite a bit. And I am particularly pale these past few months. I like to conceal right here in between my eyebrows because I have really dark hair, so it tends to get almost like kind of a blue tone here from my eyebrows. So we are all now nice and concealed, and I'm gonna go in with the Maybelline Loose Fit Me powder. I'm not sure I love this, to be honest with you. I feel like I get flashback from it, even though I have the light color and not the translucent. But I feel like I get flashback with every single loose powder. So I don't know what it is. Like, I feel like this one flashes back on me, the Patrick Star one kind of flashed back on me a little bit, and I just feel like it's just like, it's so frustrating because I need to bake because I have oily skin, but sometimes flash photography flashes back. But we all know that flash photography is sort of the devil, so I am just going to kind of bake under my eyes. I'm not going insane here, but I do want to make sure I set this concealer, and then I'm actually going to set the rest of my face with a pressed powder in just a minute. But setting this under the eye, a little bit of baking on the nose. I'm running out of powder because this is where I get really oily, right on my nose and my chin. Good God, right here, like right in this area, all around here. It's just oil city, man. Okay, so that is the baking that I do. While I am kind of letting this area bake, I am gonna move on to my brows, which I get is not really a part of my base, but I feel like it is. So I'm just gonna show you guys how I do that. So first things first is I'm gonna take an eyeshadow primer. This is the Urban Decay one. And I'm going to put this on my eyelids, which I know what you're thinking, but like that's not where your eyebrows are. A second. So I'm gonna take this and I'm gonna pat it out, but I'm gonna kind of put a little bit of that in my eyebrow, which maybe is weird. I mean, it makes sense, right? If you're gonna put a powder, which is what I use, why wouldn't you put it then also where you're putting another powder? And just so it doesn't, the eyeshadow base doesn't crease, I am gonna set it with a powder. This doesn't have anything to do really with my eyebrows, but I'm just gonna throw this in here because I will want to actually put eyeshadow on later. Okay, so brush out my brows using a little spoolie brush. As you can see, I have decently full eyebrows because I am just a hairy person in general. And then today I'm gonna be, and every day, I'm gonna be using the Anastasia Brow Power, the Anastasia Brow Power, try it again. So today, like every day, I am going to be using the Anastasia Brow Powder Duo. That's so hard to say, in dark brown. And I'm basically kind of just like, I'm not really precious about like which color I put where. I kind of just like mix them together. I tend to stick with the darker side more because I do have really dark hair. So basically what I do is I just kind of like follow the natural shape of my brow with little strokes. I am not someone who really likes a fake looking eyebrow, so I just kind of like add in, you know, where I see that the hair is pretty sparse, and I really just like I like a defined eyebrow, but I do not like one that looks painted on. Taking my brush, this guy, and at the front here, I am gonna kind of square my brow off, just because my brows are naturally kind of squared, if you can see. So I just wanna kind of define that, but I usually get a little bit too defined happy here. So I'll take my finger and kind of push, and then it kind of fades that a little bit so it's not as harsh. And then fill in this arch. This is where I tend to have the most bald spots because I touch my eyebrows a lot. So I'll kind of just go in and define them. And currently, didn't get my eyebrows waxed before this video. They are in need, that's for sure. So I just try to kind of, you know, define them as best I can. And I mean, eyebrows are not perfect. It just is what it is. So I got a little thick. Honestly, it'll look fine when the rest of our base is on. Really easy. I don't do anything crazy. I get asked about my eyebrows a lot because they are pretty defined. Oh, and the reason that I prefer powder is because I feel like I have a little bit more control over it. And I feel like on me, because I do have oilier skin, it feels like it just stays a little bit better, and it just to me looks so much more natural than like having basically eyeliner all in your eyebrows, if that makes sense. Like a pomade is really not for me, but I am really satisfied with my powder and get a lot of compliments on my eyebrows, so I feel like I must be doing something right. So we're looking a little eyebrow heavy. That's because I've got none of my other eyeshadows on. Since we have been doing other stuff, we've been letting the stuff bake. So I'm just gonna swipe that away because we don't want a bunch of bake still hanging out. Okay, and now I'm actually gonna go in and I'm gonna set my face with a pressed powder. And because I baked a little bit heavier than usual today, I am gonna go in with my Charolette Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Finish because this is a little bit more tinted than my like translucent stuff. And so I wanna go in and put on this darker shade so that it cancels out some of that baking in terms of brightness. I bake for longevity and not necessarily for brightness. Again, I'm not like super into brightening my face. I feel like this powder really just goes in and smooths everything out, but also help with oil control as well. So super easy. And now on to the more fun stuff. I have been using for years and years and years and years the Laguna bronzer. I've had probably 10 of these, and I really, really love this. I just recently ventured out and I'm gonna try a new bronzer that Kathleen Lights raved about. I haven't gotten it yet. So we're gonna stick with Laguna for now. This is a great bronzer. As you can see, it's like pretty much out. And I just take like a kind of kabuki brush. And listen guys, I don't bronze like all these beauty gurus because again, I like my skin to look bronzy and I don't want it just on the perimeters of my face. Like I want my whole face to look bronzy. So you may scream, and I'm not a makeup artist, but this is just how I like to do things. So I like to take it up here, and I mean, I will put it in the like typical areas that you're supposed to bronze, right? But like, I am not precious about where my bronzer goes because I'm not using it as a contour. I'm using it as something that warms up my complexion, because sometimes when you put all this foundation on, you lose a little bit of your definition and your complexion. So you see, I'm putting it like straight up on my chin because again, that concealer can be really lightening and make my chin look really pale. And so I don't want that. And I also am gonna make sure I put that across the bridge of my nose. And yeah, I mean, say what you want, whatever. I'm gonna use this to blend down too. But like, it's fast, it's not that precise, it's not that serious. It just is what it is. And I do not contour on a daily basis because generally nobody has time for that. So I'm not gonna contour today, but I will show you my pretty much everyday blush and highlight. So I love the Amazonian Clay Tarte blushes. They are by far my favorite. They are long lasting, but they just have great colors. And this color Exposed is so flattering on my skin. And so this is the one that I tend to go for with like every look. So I don't like a really pink cheek because I feel like it makes me look like too hot. Like I've like, not in a like I'm hot way, but in a like I'm overheated way. So I tend to stick with things that have a little bit more of a bronze undertone to them, or like a brownish undertone to them, because they don't make you look flushed, but they do look like you have some life in your face. So I'm just going to put this on. I mean, this one does have a little bit of a mauve-y or pinky tone to it, but I don't like to go really crazy on my blush. And then blush is on, and if you get a little heavy-handed with your blush or it's not blending or whatever, which mine's fine, but I'm showing you, I just go over it with my face powder. Ooh, no, the itching. And actually, I just recently got from Influenster this awesome BECCA palette, which is a face palette, which is, I'm loving so much right now. And I'm actually gonna take this bronzer down here, which is actually what inspired me to end up actually buying that bronzer that Kathleen Lights talked about, is because this is so pretty and like really glowy, and like, I don't know, I just like, I want to put it everywhere and be tan and glowy because it's summer. So I'm just adding a little bit more of this kind of around, and then I am going to take that blush brush again and go into this blush right here, and because again, this is like really summery and glowy and pretty, I'm gonna add just a little bit of that kind of right as like a cheek topper almost. I do use this as like a regular blush all by itself, but I wanted to show you guys that as well because I love it. So thank you to Influenster for that, but that was not like paid plug or anything. And then I'm going to now add my highlighter if I can find it. So my everyday highlighter is Champagne Pop by BECCA / Jaclyn Hill. This is a great highlighter, but honestly, like I said before, I'm not really super into highlight. Like, I don't like a blinding highlight. I don't like to highlight my entire face. So I am like pretty gentle with this, and I just added, I don't even know if you're gonna be able to see it on camera. I'm like that gentle with highlight. So of course, putting it on the cheekbone, I take it up over my temple, kind of right here, and then I'm gonna take it over here, do the same thing. So cheekbone, like, I admire it, but like, I don't need hate it. Like, I'm not like if you took away highlighter from my collection, I would be fine. I'm just like one of those. And then I do love a good highlight on the tip of the nose, so I'm gonna highlight the tip of my nose. I'm gonna go in the center of my forehead and then the like tip of my chin. So that's the highlighter done. Seems to be kind of popping on camera. And that actually is everything that I do for my foundation routine. So as you can see, it's not crazy. I'm not like throwing a bunch of stuff on my face that I don't need. I just am kind of a simple girl day to day. This may seem like more than a lot of people wear, but this to me is like what makes me feel good. So I'm gonna put on some eyeshadow and do my hair, and then I will come back to you guys in just a minute. Okay guys, so this is my finished look. I have all of my eyeshadow and stuff on now, eyeliner. I have the Naked Heat eyeshadow palette on, and as you can see, the brows blend a little bit better, especially my hair down and all of that jazz. The only part I did not show you guys was that I did set my face with the Wet n Wild Photo Focus Matte Finish setting spray. This is great and really cheap and cruelty free and all that stuff. So that is the end of this video. So this is my foundation routine. It's gonna last me a long time, and I hope you guys enjoyed this video. So I'm gonna go. I need to get dressed for work, and I will see you guys very soon. In the meantime, my name is Parker. This is Stories in the Dust, and I really hope you'll stick around a while. Bye guys.